Hey, I'm Kylie, former NICU travel nurse and founder of Passports and Preemies, and you're listening to Clocked Out Life Beyond the Bedside. This podcast is for nurses who are ready to ask, what else is out there for me? Each week, we dive into what it means to thrive as a nurse beyond the hospital walls through conversations about burnout, alternative careers, travel, financial freedom, and wellness. Whether you're deep in burnout or just craving more freedom, you're in the right place. It's time to redefine what life after clocking out really looks like. Hi, you guys. So I am so excited about this episode today. I am speaking with Hannah Kimmel, who is a nurse and a flight attendant. She has like two full careers, and I could barely just handle being a nurse. She has a really unique story and is super open and honest about the ups and downs that she has experienced as a bedside nurse. We talk about how we did not love nursing school, why she decided to be a flight attendant and a nurse, and her shift from bedside nursing to what she calls her soft nursing job. Hannah is so bubbly and so much fun, and I know that you're going to love this episode. So here it is. Hi, Hannah. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I'm so excited to chat with you today because I feel like you just have the most unique story. You are a nurse and a flight attendant. Most of us are out here just trying to survive our nursing job. And here you are with two jobs, two careers. So, can you walk us through how that came to be?
Sure, yeah. So it is kind of a funny story. So whenever I was in nursing school, I was just having the worst time. I hated nursing school. I hated clinicals. I just did not like it. And I was like, I need to come up with a game plan for after nursing school if I don't want to be a nurse. And I hate this so much. So my uncle is actually a flight attendant for the airline that I work for now. I was talking to him about it on the phone and he was like, oh, hey, we're going to be opening our applications. Like maybe you should just be a flight attendant, like for a little bit until you like figure out maybe what you want to do if you don't want to do that. And he was like, there's so many nurses that are flight attendants as well. There's so many flight attendants that do other things. And he was like, if you decide you want to do both, you can. So I was in my last year of nursing school and I was actually like on a clinical. I'll never forget it. I was at clinicals and the applications had opened. And the thing about flight attendant applications is they open for a very short period of time. So my airline, the application was open for 4 hours and the site crashes like when you're trying to submit the applications because there's so many people trying to apply at one time. I think like 20,000 people applied the day that I ended up applying in this little short period of time. So I was at my clinical and I was like trying to submit my application, and my uncle was helping me trying to submit my application, and we had finally got it through. And then a few weeks later, I heard back. I got like a little phone interview. And then I had gotten an in person interview. So I flew down to Dallas where we have our headquarters. And this is all while I'm like wrapping up my last year of nursing school. So it's kind of like March, we're getting into like graduation, getting ready to take finals, all that kind of stuff. I flew down for the in person interview. I got the job like offer on the spot there. And I was like, yes, of course. So it was actually like a few months later, then I ended up going to training because they were redoing the facility, the training facility at the time. So it had honestly just worked out so perfect. From the time I graduated nursing school, I was able to take a few months off, just kind of do what I wanted to do. And then I went to flight attendant training. And then after flight attendant training, I just started incorporating my nursing job. And now I'm just doing both.
Okay, that's amazing. I have so many questions. So, I
Yeah.
think first, you said that so many flight attendants also, like, are nurses or have other jobs. Is that because you like, how many days do you what's a full-time flight attendant schedule? With nursing
Right.
being 3 days a week, you could definitely have, like, a side hustle or another job, but what is it for flight attendants?
Right. It's honestly different for every airline. I love the airline that I work for, and this is why I do this airline, but we have 3-day trips. So every month I bid for a schedule at the airline.
Mhm.
And it's a block of three. So technically, if you think about it, if you work full time as a nurse, you could do 3 days there and then 3 days flying. But that's in a row, the 3 days flying, right?
Right.
I bid every month, and then it's like 1 month I'll be on reserve. So you don't have trips or anything. And then the next month you might get trips. So it's honestly really complicated. The aviation world is honestly, I think, so complicated to understand until you actually get your foot in the door. But it somehow just works out. And the thing about my trips is so I'm guaranteed 3 trips every week,
Okay.
right? And it
Okay.
depends on how you bid for it. So, like, maybe for the month, this month I bid for 3 days for 4 blocks. So I have 12 days. And then what makes it so nice is that it's so flexible. You can trade trips with people, you can get rid of trips. Like, it's so flexible. So if I don't want to work in a month, I can work my board down to 0 trips if I just want to do nursing.
How often do you give away your trips? And we're gonna get into this a little bit more later, but just thinking about, like, burnout and working, your 3 shifts or whatever you're doing now as a nurse, do you end up giving a lot of your trips away, or do you find it, like, so fulfilling that you don't want to?
Right now, I do give a lot of my trips away. I try to clear my board completely because if I want to pick up a trip, maybe if I decide to, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do nursing today.
Okay.
Um, or like I work PRN as a nurse too.
Okay.
I was doing full-time nursing with this job, but then I was able to go PRN and I have a few other nursing jobs too. So
Okay.
it just like works with my schedule. So I just try to clear my board. Sometimes I can't always do it, so I will have to fly. But I do notice that if I'm getting tired of nursing, where I'm like, okay, I can't, because my right now I make more money nursing.
Yeah.
So I kind of lean towards that.
Mhm.
So I just try to clear my board, but I do try to stay in touch with my body and my mind. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting tired here of doing this 3 days in a row. I'm getting tired of doing this. So then I'll fly more. But it honestly all depends on the month because there's a lot of other stuff that comes up too. This summer, I have so many weddings to go to,
Mhm.
so many birthdays, vacations. So every single month is different, you know?
Yeah. And do you feel comfortable sharing what airline you fly with?
I fly with Southwest. I
Okay.
love the airline. It's an amazing
I
airline.
love
Yeah.
Southwest
Yeah, they're so great.
so much. Okay. I wanna start back over in the beginning. You said that you hated nursing school. I also hated nursing school, and I feel like I haven't really heard anybody else say that. So what about nursing school did you hate? And then how did you decide to kind of push through that and graduate anyways?
Yeah, I love going to school. I love school so much. Like, I love learning and I love doing that kind of thing. But I think it was more the clinical aspect. Like, I felt the hospitals that I was going to, you were just doing a lot of CNA stuff, like making the bed, changing the
Mhm.
patient, which is great. That's fine. I was a patient care tech, like in
Yeah.
nursing school. So it was nice to learn all that stuff. But
Yes.
like, I felt like I wasn't actually learning any nursing stuff
Same.
in school.
Yes.
Like, it
Mhm.
was just kind of walking through the motions. Nothing made sense. It was very stressful. And then when I would go to these hospitals, these nurses were like, "Don't do it. Don't become a nurse." So I
Mhm.
just had a bad taste in my mouth. I did end up meeting some amazing people though in nursing school. And I do sometimes look back now and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I wish I could go study with them, or
Okay.
I wish I could go like eat lunch with them. I wish I could go get coffee with them. I did have the most amazing friends and we're going to all be lifelong friends. We
Yeah.
text each other randomly, but it was just like a bad taste in my mouth. It was just negative. I hated it.
Yeah. I did too. I actually didn't wanna be a nurse. I wanted to be a physician's assistant. And then I never applied because I had this, like, negative self-talk, like, "Oh, you're not smart enough, you could never." So, I don't know, I never applied, and then time was running out, I was graduating, I was like, "Oh my god, what do I do?" So, I ended up applying to nursing school, and I hated it so much until I got myself into the NICU, and then I was like, "Oh, this is so much better." Because, like you, with the adults, I didn't like doing I don't know. I didn't like talking to people, I didn't like doing the tasks, and yeah, it wasn't for me either, so
And I feel like that's when I started to love nursing though, is like after school and you get into what you really like doing, you know? And I
yeah.
think that's what is so nice about nursing is there's so many different things you can do with your nursing degree.
Oh, 100%. And
Yeah.
what unit I know you have a different job now, I believe, because I've stalked you
Mhm.
on Instagram, but what was your first job out of nursing school?
It was a med surge floor.
Okay, okay,
Yeah. It was like a post-op med surge floor.
okay. And then did you get your associate's degree and then you went back for your bachelor's, or how'd you decide tell us about that journey.
Yeah, I got my associate's degree first, and that too, I kind of just like fell into like really weird. When I went to nursing school too, I wasn't so passionate about being a nurse. To me, it
Mhm,
just looked good on paper. I was
mhm.
like, oh, this is a good job. Obviously, I was like 18 at the time. I don't really know what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
So So anyway, my freshman year of high school, though, my parents were getting a divorce. And so, well, like, they're still getting divorced. And by the time I was going to school, my mom's like, and I have three siblings too. So my mom was like, you're going to college, but you need to go to college where you're going to get the most money. So I had ended up
Mhm.
applying to this one really small private school in Pennsylvania. And that's where I'm from originally. And I got a really big scholarship. And
Okay.
I had somehow ended up getting into their associate program, which I
Mhm.
didn't honestly even know. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't know that there was like associate program, bachelor program.
Wait,
Like,
same. Same.
no, I had
Uh,
no idea. And no one told me this, like nothing. I had no idea it was just kind of like I stumbled into this,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up in a master's program because I graduated with a bachelor's in biology. And then it was a program that was like a bachelor's in nursing bridge to the master's. And this girl sat next to me and she's like, "So, what are you getting your master's in?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm not here for that. I'm here to get my bachelor's." And she was like, "Well, but after that." And I was like, No, I'm not. I don't know. I did not know what she was talking about. I was so confused. And I've never felt so stupid, so I'm kind of glad that I don't think I'm alone. Like, it's so
Yeah.
confusing.
No, I had no idea. And looking back now, I'm like, okay, it makes sense. But there's literally so many different paths and routes to
Mhm.
like get your nursing degree.
Okay, so you got your associates and then you got your
And then I got my bachelor's. I just
okay,
did it online. Yeah.
okay, okay. Did you feel like you had to get your bachelor's, or why did you get it?
I did feel like I didn't have a problem getting a job with my associate's degree.
Okay.
But obviously, I feel like a lot of the really cool specialties, like nursing jobs, they want you to, at least if you have your associate's degree, show that you're going back to school.
Yeah.
You
And
know what I'm saying?
right. So did you get your first job with your associates and you were doing an online program at that time as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you were a flight attendant.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm stressed just thinking about it all, but good for you. And then between you graduating nursing school and starting your first job, you had applied for and gotten a job as a flight attendant, correct?
Yes.
And then you took some time off to go to do your training as a flight attendant.
Training. Yes. Yeah.
So, did that time, like, between getting your first job as a nurse, like, on reflection, were you able to be excited about nursing at this point, or were you still a little bit, like, weary? What was, like, your thoughts?
I was so much more excited about nursing and like everything I could do. I was. But honestly, too, at that time, I was just kind of like foo foo about the whole thing. I was just like, oh, what can I get myself into now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I just wasn't, because I feel like there are some people I know who are like, they are such passionate nurses and they are so into it. I feel like I was just never like,
same, yeah.
so nursing, nursing, nursing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I feel like that's kind of maybe still how I was at that time. I was like, oh, great, nursing, but what else, what else could
yeah,
I do?
yeah. Do you think that being a nurse helped you get a job as a flight attendant? Or
I do. I think they do love nurses. I think because obviously, if there's a medical emergency on the plane,
okay, I wanted
like,
to ask you about this, yeah.
yeah, it's really nice because I think people's first instincts when there's a medical emergency on the plane, you freak out. You're 30,000 feet in the air in a metal tube, and it happens. People have heart attacks. People like
Mhm.
have all kinds of stuff happen, like crazy things happen. So the first initial instinct I think for people to do is freak out.
Right.
So I feel like since I have this medical background, obviously, like I actually just had medical yesterday.
Okay, tell
And
us.
obviously, my first thing to do is, oh, let me get a set of vitals. Let
Mhm.
me do this. Now, since I am a flight attendant, I'm not covered. If I did something wrong, I would be at risk with my license and that thing. But there's a lot of other things on the plane. We have a headset where we can connect to a doctor and they can walk us through what to do. And then there's always medical professionals on board. So we
Right.
always ask, is there a medical professional on board? But
I
obviously it's nice because I'm able to assess, get some vitals, see what's
Mhm.
really going on first
Yeah,
and have it.
and, like, see how big of an emergency it is or is not.
Yeah.
I've been on a lot of flights when they ask if there's a medical professional on board, but as a NICU nurse, I'm, like, feel like the least qualified person on this planet, and I always just sit there, but I'm always like, looking around, oh my God, is somebody else gonna volunteer? And then I get like all panicky. Did you hear about that flight? I don't know if it was a Southwest flight, and I want to say they were going to Hawaii. And the lady gave birth on the flight to a premature baby.
No,
And there was
no.
two NICU nurses on board, and they were on Ellen DeGeneres. So I'm
Wow,
like,
see,
why
I
couldn't
just
I
have
have been on
goosebumps.
this flight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ha-
Wow, so that's amazing, though. That's so amazing.
Yeah, for the nurses, maybe not for the mom.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the worst medical emergency? Have you seen something really bad, or is it usually minor stuff?
I haven't seen anything really bad, just minor stuff, like, people are dehydrated,
Mhm.
they don't eat, maybe, like, diabetics, they haven't eaten all day, they're not checking their sugar, that kind of thing. I haven't,
Yeah.
but I've some of my friends have had a heart attack or really where they have to, like, divert the plane and go down and, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
so
Are flight attendants trained in CPR and first aid?
yeah, we
Okay.
are. Yeah. So I went to training for 4 weeks, and within that training, we do everything emergency. We learn how to evacuate the plane in 90 seconds. We learn how to do CPR, like everything.
Okay. That makes me feel good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I feel like people don't realize too. And because everyone's like, oh, flight attendants, they're just waitresses in the sky. That's like an ongoing joke. But there's so much more to training that we do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I do have a good friend that's a flight attendant, so I have heard people say that before, but I know that it's like a lot more in depth and complicated than what people make flight attendants out to be. So thank
Yeah.
you for your service as a nurse and a flight attendant.
Thank you.
Okay, do you wanna tell us now about what your job is? And I think you're PRN. I also saw on Instagram that you have said you have a soft nursing job. So tell us what your job is now, and then I wanna dive into, like, soft nursing.
Sure, yeah. So I still work PRN at the hospital, just here and there.
On the med
Um,
surg floor?
I kind of go to like different
Okay,
floors.
okay.
Yeah. And then this new nursing job that I started, this is actually a really cool thing. Her name is Taylor Ivy, and she started Chicago's first postnatal retreat.
Okay.
So I call this my sort of soft nursing job. And so postnatal retreat is when like the moms, they have their babies, it's postpartum. And then the mom and dad and babies, they come to this postnatal retreat, they stay, and it's just for them to rest, rejuvenate, restore, which I just think is the most amazing concept because I
Mhm.
feel like there's not a lot of things out there for postpartum moms. Postpartum depression is real, postpartum blues, like all that stuff. And I feel like there's just not a lot out there
Totally.
for this time after mom. It's an amazing thing. It's a new concept in the United States. There's one, I think, in LA, New York, and now Chicago. She
Mhm.
started it and she's amazing. She's a doula too. So
Okay.
she does like overnight stuff with the babies. We'll do training classes. We do CPR classes. We teach the mom and dad how to do CPR with the baby. We did IV hydration therapy, just a lot of like different training stuff. It's amazing. I just think it's like the most amazing thing. And I call it my soft nursing job because it's like soft. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
It's like,
yeah. It's especially, like, a change from the hustle and bustle of hospital work.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
how did you find this job? Because I think there's a lot of nurses who are interested in doing work outside of hospital, but they don't know how to find jobs like this.
Right. And this is honestly too a really rare nursing
Mhm.
job, I would say. It's not a big thing in the United States. Like it's
Yeah.
big overseas in Japan, all that kind of thing. But I actually met Taylor on social media.
Okay.
I was scrolling through TikTok and she had like posted something about she was going to start opening up a med spa. So I had reached out to her and I was like, I want to do your social media for this.
Mhm.
And then we had connected. We ended up meeting up. We went out to lunch at Soho House
Okay.
in Chicago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it, yeah.
And she was actually like, oh, I have this postnatal retreat. I would love for you to come do nursing here and do all that stuff. Like we clicked right away. So I would recommend for nurses, first of all, to post all of your stuff
Mhm.
and network, put
Mhm.
yourself out there, reach out and just like keep trying. Because honestly, too, I'll say this on top of my nursing and my flight attendant job, content creation too, social media has become a third income, another job for me as
Yeah,
well.
I literally, like, when I'm making notes about you, I'm like, flight attendant, nurse, and then I'm like, And content creation because that's, like, literally takes a lot of time. I understand that. So,
It's
you
a
really
lot of
have, like,
time.
3 job and 4 because you
Yeah.
have your PRN job, so,
Yeah.
yeah. Walk us through a day in the life at your soft nursing job. Like, what time do you wake up? How long is your day? Tell us
Yeah.
everything.
So this varies too, and this is so nice. And I've actually made a few videos like on TikTok and Instagram
Okay.
too, showing. So the mom and the baby stay overnight. They stay at the
Mhm,
retreat for 5 days, however long they book it, right?
mhm,
So I'll maybe wake up 8, 9, go in at like 10. We do stuff with mom and baby. It depends on what the family has planned for the day and what I have planned. But I'll go stay in there. We get some work done. And then I'm kind of just there all day. And then if I want to like sleep over, spend
mhm.
the night there and do overnight with the baby and the mom and the family, I have that option too. I
Okay.
don't always do that because if I work like a 12-hour shift and then I go and I don't want to stay the night, like I obviously can't do that. I need to go to bed.
Right.
But sometimes I do stay overnight too. So that honestly just depends. But I get to sleep in the morning slow. I'm there for a few hours and then I go home.
And do you feel comfortable sharing? Like, do you make more or less at this job than at the hospital job?
It's less because
Right.
my hospital job, I will say, is my highest paying that's my highest paying job, the nursing
Yeah.
job, but with
Okay.
PRN, I don't get benefits there, that's the thing. So, I mean, obviously, not even now my flight attendant job probably won't compete even with that until, like, maybe year 5 pay,
Mhm.
I don't know. So, it will take some time to
Yeah.
get better. But to me, it's worth it to do this and not have that burnout or
Oh, yeah.
stress.
I was travel nurse for on and off for 7 years, and then when I was trying to decide to go back to staff nursing, it was, like, such a freaking huge pay cut, but it was
Mhm.
worth it because I was so burned out of
Right.
travel nursing. But
Traveling.
do you feel like ideally is your goal, even though it's the most money, is your goal to eventually get away from the hospital altogether?
And this is so funny because I go back and forth about this all the time. Because right now, I feel like I have such a good balance between my nursing, my flying, all these other jobs where I'm just so content with everything, where it's balance. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I just don't know what I would do because I actually love nursing. I love my job as a nurse. I love doing nursing. I definitely just don't think I can see myself doing bedside nursing probably for the rest of my life. I don't think I will. I don't think so.
Yeah. I am just thinking randomly. It's interesting that you were never like a hoorah nurse in school and stuff. And now you're kind of like, you know, you're still using your license and your degree, but you're also recognizing that maybe it's not long term.
Right. And the thing too though about nursing is that I look at it as kind of like a maybe like a stepping stone, a tool because I mean, obviously you can make really good money with nursing if you find the right job and
Hmm.
you do the right thing and you can keep going back to school, you can afford to go do things. So I feel like I will maybe keep using it as a tool to maybe get where I want to in the future, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't worked bedside nursing since 2023, but, like, I still say I'm a nurse. I still use my knowledge as a nurse and,
Yeah.
like, I still wanna benefit other nurses. So, I think, like you said, you don't need to work in the hospital to be a nurse or to use your degree in some capacity. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that it's awesome what you are doing. Okay,
Thank you.
so flight attendant, nurse, 2 nursing jobs, really. Content creation. How do you manage everything and take care of yourself? From an outsider looking in, it really looks like you are thriving and living your best life, but I'm curious how you really feel right now.
Me personally, I love my life. I'll tell that to anyone. I love what I do right now. I enjoy it so much. But I have low days too, just like anyone. Everything can get so overwhelming. I get so very stressed out. So just to manage that, I make sure I focus on myself first. So I go to bed at like 9, 10 o'clock, maybe earlier than that. I mean, I'm in bed early, but then I get up early the next morning. I go running. Running has been one of my outlets. I've done a few marathons, but it helps me to just kind of like release my stress somehow. I love to cook. I do a lot of meal prepping too. And so it does seem to the eye, of course, on my social media, like everything is perfect, but I do have a lot of lows, of course.
Hmm.
I have these days where I kind of feel like sometimes maybe an imposter and I'm like, what am I going to do next with my life? Or I don't know. I have definitely days where I'm in my head and I'm feeling down.
It sounds like you have some good tools in your toolbox in terms of fighting burnout. You said that you like to go running, you meal prep. What are other things that you can do to prevent burnout? Or like maybe there's things that you want to be better at that you're not, that you could advise other nurses on.
I think sometimes I do overextend myself to where, like, if I get invited to something, I need to go and do it. But sometimes I need to just stop and rest. I feel like I know a lot of nurses too who are, they have a full time job, they have a PRN job, they're going to school, like a lot of different stuff. And I feel like I'm kind of in that same boat. And I feel like sometimes it's okay. I just need to have grace with myself. It's okay to stop, take a moment. It's okay to rest, reset. It's okay to sit on the couch for a day and watch TV and do nothing, to just rest. It's fine. I think it's
Yeah.
really important to surround yourself with really good people in your life. I think that was something I had to learn early on. There are some people that I just kind of had to like stop being friends with because it was just kind of, they were bringing me down. Like they weren't happy for what I was doing. They weren't happy for the things I was
Hmm.
doing and they were just kind of not supportive. So, I mean, that in itself is so draining. So I think it's so important to surround yourself with people who lift you up and encourage you and support you with whatever you're doing. But then too, my recommendation to nurses is don't be scared to put yourself out there, to shoot your content, film yourself. It's not silly. It doesn't have to just be bedside nursing. It doesn't just have to be your job. Don't be scared to go PRN and figure something else out, or don't be scared to not use your nursing degree. It's okay. I know
Hmm.
nursing school is a big thing, but it's okay to not use your nursing degree if you're not happy.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. And I know we've talked a little bit about like our, love, but also not love of nursing. So I have to ask, knowing what you know now, if you went back, would you go to nursing school and choose this path?
I would still go to nursing school. I would because, I mean, first of all, I met again like my most amazing people, and I don't think I would be where I'm at if I didn't go to nursing school.
Hmm.
If that makes sense. I wouldn't change anything. And like I said, I think nursing, I don't know really any other job that you can just work 3 days and you have off all this time. I think there are some beautiful things about being a nurse. There are some great things. And I think if you can like hone in on those things that nursing can offer while taking advantage of other things, I think you can use nursing as a tool to find something you're really passionate about, find what you want to do because it's a stable job. It's great. So I would go back to nursing school because I know I'm always going to have a job. I'm going to always have my degree. I'm always going to have something to support myself.
Hmm. Yeah. And then I want to ask, because I know that you're a flight attendant, so I'm assuming you love to travel. Would you ever consider travel nursing? I mean, right now, I feel like it's probably not feasible with your schedule, but is that something you've ever thought about?
Yeah, I look at contracts all the time
Oh, you do?
for travel
Okay.
nursing. Yeah, I would love, obviously, to go to California for a few months and do travel nursing out there. Right now, I just feel like it's not possible right now. I feel like I have, like, with my schedule, with my PRN job, like everything I have going on, it just works out. So I don't want to tip the boat or
Hmm.
anything. I think maybe when I'm ready to look for something new, I would. I also don't think the travel rates, though, too, are worth it right
Yeah.
now. I don't think
I
they're worth it.
I haven't looked in a while, but I've heard bad things.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think it's just more beneficial to be PRN than do travel nursing right now with the rates. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. To wrap up, I do have a few questions that I want to end with. So, take a minute, okay? And everybody listening to this podcast, like honestly, pause and take a minute after I ask this question. So, think about your 5 years into the future. First, I want you to describe to me what your dream life would look like what it feels like, what you're doing, what you're learning. Describe 5 years from now to me.
5 years from now, I hope that I don't know too if I would still be doing nursing or even flying. I have no idea. But I hope I just feel as happy and as healthy as I do now. And I hope I'm in honestly traveling. I hope I'm traveling to a new country. I would love to go to like I don't know. I don't know where I want to be, but I want to be traveling. In 5 years from now, I want to be traveling every other month,
Hmm.
like internationally to a different country.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I love to travel. I love to explore and meet new people and see new cultures. I hope too that if I do stick with nursing, that I continue to keep going back to school, maybe for my DNP or something like that. I would
Okay.
maybe like to be of that. If I do stick with it, I would like to keep going for more schooling. I don't know if I will do that. I don't know, but I hope it's so hard. I don't know because I just have no idea, honestly, like what I want to do every single day. I feel like I change my mind.
Yeah.
But I hope that I'm kind of also in 5 years, I do hope that I'm still wanting to do adventure and try new things. And if I do hate my job at that point, I will have the ability to be like, okay, let me go do something else.
Hmm.
But honestly, I don't know.
In 5 years, if you have your DNP, do you picture yourself in an educational role or at the hospital or at a clinic?
I think I could see myself in an educational role for sure. I feel like it would be really important. I think it would mean a lot to me because I think these new nurses that are coming in to programs, they need to see a positive person teaching them and guiding them through. So I would possibly love to do an education role if I keep going back to school and like
Hmm.
teaching like that kind of thing. I would love to do that. Yeah.
So, the way you described your dream life to me in 5 years, do you feel like right now you're taking the steps to fulfill this life?
I do. I do think I am. I think right now, since I'm young, 23, I feel like I work really hard every single day to where I want to be in a few years, at least by the time I'm 30. So
Mm-hmm.
I do. I feel like I am taking the right steps, keeping an open mind about things, trying new things, learning new things, I think. And I'm really excited. I'm always excited.
Yeah. I mean, with all that you have going on, I heard you say in another podcast, like you're young. I didn't know how old or young you were, but you said something like now's the time to work hard. And I really admire that about you. I'm proud of you. And I think that,
Thank
like,
you.
it sounds like
Sweet.
you have taken steps to build your life. And how you said, I hope that in 5 years, I think the word is like courage. And I hope for you that in 5 years, if you aren't happy with something you're doing, that you have the courage to leave. And it kind of sounds like so far you're on the right path. So I'm also
Yeah.
proud
Oh,
of
thank
you.
you. Oh, you're so
Um,
sweet.
Okay, if a nurse is listening right now and they are feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure of their path forward, what would you want them to hear?
I would want them to hear that there's so much more to feeling burnt out and stuck. There's so much more that you can do with your nursing career.
Mhm.
There's a lot, and you don't have to be a nurse. In my training, there were so many nurses that were stopping their career to start this new flight attendant career.
Mm.
Like, and there's so many different things you can do. So if you feel burnt, if you feel stuck out, like, yeah, have that courage to change your life and do something that you want to do. You wake up so happy, you love your life, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're my twin soul flame because everything you're saying, I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
What are
So
you doing now?
right now, so I quit bedside nursing in 2023 and I've been doing content creation full time. And I live in France. I just got married. So if you ever come to
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. If you ever come to Paris, you have to let me know.
Girl, yes, I will. I totally will. That would be so fun.
Okay, last question for you. I love to travel, you love to travel. Tell me your favorite domestic place to travel to and international.
My favorite domestic place to travel to is Greenville, South Carolina. I don't know if you've ever been there, but
Yes, because I went to Clemson.
I just think it is like the cutest little, most charming town ever. I love the little boutiques. I love little shops. It's just like calm,
Mhm.
peaceful going there. I don't know. I love it. I love it there. It's so cute. And
Hmm.
then my favorite international place is, I mean, it's Italy. I love Italy.
Hmm.
I love Venice. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that. And where can people find you, Hannah?
Yeah. So my old TikTok account did get hacked. So I did start a new one. So
Mm,
that one is going to be on TikTok. That's scrubs.and.hubs.
okay.
And then you can find me on Instagram under Han Kimmel, just Han Kimmel, my name. And then I did start stuff on YouTube. I honestly have no idea what it is, but
So,
I just post stuff on there. It's just like I've been throwing stuff on there. It might be Han Kimmel on there too. So those are
okay.
like the three main things that I post on.
And we will make sure to link that all in the show notes. But thank you so much for giving us insight into your careers, plural, and just sharing your knowledge and wisdom. And I appreciate you for coming on today. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. It was so nice meeting you.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Clocked Out, Life Beyond the Bedside. If today's episode resonated with you, I'd love it if you could take a moment to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with a fellow nurse who needs to hear it. For more on thriving beyond the bedside, make sure to follow along on Instagram and check out Passports and Preemies, where we talk travel, wellness, and building a life that works for you.